Hey everybody, how you doing? There's something weird about this video. What is it? Oh, the door's open. Okay, well, I don't want to get up and shut it, so I guess we're just going to do this whole video with the door open. Woo! What's that other door beyond my door? No one knows! It may be my laundry room. It might be the portal to the 9th dimension. Who knows? Okay, that's enough of that. So, this is going to be the last video that I'm going to be recording before I go on my trip. So, yeah, I got a bunch of stuff planned. I think I filmed 10 videos for you guys, okay? I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, 10 videos, 7 of which are Law Week videos, and I'll probably film some stuff while I'm on the road as well, but, you know, it's nice to take an extended vacation. I haven't been on one in like 4 years, so this should be fun. But today, before I depart, I just wanted to talk about just how much chaos is going on in the One Piece world right now, okay? Because, yeah, there's a lot of nutty stuff happening with, like, Luffy, and, you know, now he's a member of the Yonko, and then you also have the situation with Aramaki, who's Green Bull, who's like attacking the Udon prison, and now he's heading toward the Flower Capital. And then there's the whole thing with Sukiyaki and Robin, and Pluton is apparently in Wano now, and it's like, that's insane. But remember, the last thing that was actually said before the end of the chapter, and we went on this month-long break, the last scene was Aramaki, was Green Bull, walking toward the Flower Capital with a bunch of grass and flowers and trees growing in his wake due to his Devil Fruit ability. And he just mentions that, man, those guys are really going crazy at that festival. All the noise and all of the fireworks and everything. They have no idea. They're completely oblivious to how much chaos the world is in right now. They caused a lot of problems for the Marines, and I'm gonna show them what for. And then Aramaki continues to the Flower Capital, okay? So let's just talk about that. You know, due to the fact that Wano is an isolated nation, it's really hard for news to reach there. Apu did have the newspaper, but the only thing we saw in that newspaper was the announcement of the new Yonko, as well as the bounties for Kid, Law, and Luffy. Luffy becoming one of the new Yonko, and then Buggy as well, and Shanks and Blackbeard, as they were already members of that group, okay? But I'm sure there's a lot of other really interesting stuff in that newspaper that we're going to find out later. I would not be surprised if the beginning of the next chapter was like Luffy freaking out over seeing his new bounty, and then they actually, you know, maybe Nami or Robin or somebody else grabs the paper and starts looking through the rest of it and seeing all the turmoil and the chaos that they have caused in the world, all right? So let's start first and foremost with this. Big Mom and Kaido are gone now. So, you know, you could argue whether or not they're dead because a week has gone by. I think probably the most likely scenario is that they're not dead because this is One Piece we're talking about here. Although there was a lot more deaths in this past arc than in every other arc in One Piece, I'll say that much. We had Ashura Doji and Izo that died, so that's something, I guess. But I think probably the most likely thing to have happened is Big Mom and Kaido fell down into this magma caldera, started to dissolve, and then they got washed out somehow. I don't know, maybe like there was there was an eruption, so maybe there was another eruption on another undersea volcano that was connected to that magma pool out in the ocean or something, so they got shot out, and then they, you know, ended up on some island in the middle of the sea or something like that. I don't think they're dead. Now, a week has passed since the battle, so they haven't shown back up yet, so that either means that they're unconscious, they might be in a coma, they might be so injured, you know, half of Big Mom's face might be melted off from the magma, like, mama, mama, zombie Big Mom and zombie Kaido arriving. It's like right when the Straw Hats reach Laugh Tale, they think they've made it, and then that's when lava zombie Big Mom and Kaido emerge out of the ground, and just like, we won't let you reach the One Piece, mama, 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 whoa, 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 zombie dragon, let's do that, why not, right? But no, yeah, so I don't think they're dead, but they're currently not in any situation to be emperors. That's why the paper announced they're no longer emperors, okay? Luffy took Kaido's spot, and I guess Buggy took Big Mom's spot, all right? Well, that means that there is a domino effect here, where there are a bunch of territories that they controlled that are no longer, like, you know, that they would no longer have that control, so other pirates would just, you know, swarm in and take it over, many of which might be the crews under Blackbeard, okay? okay, Blackbeard might see this as a prime opportunity of like, Kaido and Big Mom fell. I'm gonna go to their most prominent islands. It doesn't even have to be their home bases, you know? There's that theory about Blackbeard taking over Totland. I mean, he might have very well have done that because not only is Big Mom not in Totland right now, but pretty much all of her really powerful children like Smoothie and Moltendor and Compote and everybody are currently at Wano, right? It was also mentioned by Morgans that Big Mom's ship did arrive, so maybe like they grab Big Mom, but she's like unconscious and she can't do anything right now, right? So yeah, but the point is Totland is probably very weak. I mean, Katakuri and Cracker are there. You know, well, okay, there's the whole thing with the Germa cover page, but remember the Germa cover page takes place like immediately after Totland, okay? So that cover series with the Germa and Caesar and Cracker, that took place like at least a month or so before where we're at right now in the story. Because I think it took like, there was like a 2-week gap between Totland and Wano. Well, there was 2 weeks until the Fire Festival at the Flower Capital, but then there was another week after that. So yeah, that's probably like a month ago is when the Germa invaded to rescue Niji and Yonji, right? So there might be something else going on right now, but I'm not even talking about Totland necessarily. I'm talking about all the other islands that Big Mom controlled, not the least of which being Fishman Island. Yeah, I just realized that. So Fishman Island used to be under the protection of Whitebeard, but then Whitebeard died, and then Big Mom came in, and she's like, hey, you guys still need protection. I'm happy to give it to you, but you have to pay a tax in the form of sweets, okay? And so the merfolk and the fishmen and everything are like, well, you know, we can't have pirates coming in here and just stealing the mermaids and like raiding the place and, you know, attacking people. So yeah, sure, we have to build a candy factory to give you candy. Sure, why not? We'll do that. Well, Big Mom's no longer there. So, you know, Fishman Island might return to being that pirate haven that it was for a very long time, though, where before Whitebeard showed up and declared, you know, this island is my territory now. Before he did that, there was a lot of problems that they had with pirates coming into the place, right? So it might return to that. It also might be a situation where just like how Big Mom took up the slack right after Whitebeard died, another Yonko might appear to take over Fishman Island and protect it. The only Yonko I could really see doing that, well, you could argue that Luffy, okay, now that's an interesting one. I was gonna say Shanks, because Shanks, you know, he might be aware of like, all right, you know, I'm not gonna let Fishman Island get destroyed because Big Mom's gone, I'll protect Fishman Island, right? So maybe Shanks would show up. But actually, now that you think about it, Luffy did declare that Fishman Island was his own territory. Now, he did that way back before he was ever considered an emperor, or even considered a fifth emperor. He did that as soon as he arrived in the New World, right? Right after Fishman Island arc, he declared that. So the people of Fishman Island probably did not start hanging Jolly Rogers of the Straw Hats everywhere, right? They were probably still like, okay, Luffy, we appreciate you wanting to protect us. We're still going to go with Big Mom, though, just because she's an actual emperor and you're not. But now that Big Mom has been defeated, it's very likely that the citizens of Fishman Island, like Neptune and everybody, are just like, well, Big Mom's no longer around. Who's going to protect the island? Well, Luffy already said he would protect the island. He promised us he would, and he's an emperor now. So screw it. Start hanging up Jolly Rogers of the Straw Hats everywhere. Wow, that would actually kind of solve itself now that I think about it. Yeah, maybe Shanks could get involved, but no, honestly, they could just do that. You know what? I also thought of something interesting now that we're going along with that logic. Would it be possible, and it might even be, you know, some islands might already do this, for islands to just raise the flag of a Yonko and put them on their territory so to deter other pirates from arriving? Like, let's say there's a random island in the middle of the New World that's not allied with anybody or not protected by any Yonko, but they don't want pirates to come and, like, torch their towns. So what if they just put up a Jolly Roger of, like, this town is protected by Whitebeard, even though Whitebeard's never even been on the island, you know what I mean? Now, I guess that is high risk, high return, because the return is, like, no pirates would even do anything if they saw Whitebeard's Jolly Roger hanging over the island. The bad thing is if Whitebeard ever found out about it, like, hey, Pops, there's an island using your Jolly Roger without your permission. Now, with Whitebeard, it might actually work because it depends on the town. If the town is just a bunch of normal citizens going about their everyday life and they hadn't really hurt anybody, and if it reminds him of his hometown, I guess Whitebeard would be like, all right, I guess I'll take it under my wing. Why not, right? But you'd have to be careful with that shit. But you know there are probably some towns that do that, right? But anyway, yeah. So I guess the Fishman Island situation is not that big of a deal, but there are still a lot of other islands that, you know, Big Mom and Kaido ruled over, that Blackbeard or some other pirate crews, maybe not Yonko necessarily, but other really prominent crews in the world might try to swarm in and just take, you know, because they can, because nothing can stop them, okay? So that's probably throwing the world up into upheaval right now. As Aramaki said, the world is in chaos. The Marines specifically are in chaos right now. So last time we saw the Marines, they were dealing with the fallout of the Reverie. They were also dealing with the Warlords, okay? They were sending a bunch of Marine fleets after the Warlords, Hancock and Mihawk and Buggy and Weevil, okay? I'm going to assume none of them were captured, okay? Just going off on a limb here, okay? I'm assuming none of them were captured, okay? Mihawk probably sliced that whole damn fleet apart without even blinking or enjoying his morning coffee. Weevil just bulldozed through everything, you know, just like, Weevil, bust through that Marine blockade. We're getting out of here. Okay, mama! And then just, boom! Just obliterate an entire mountain along the way. Boa has an entire army under her wing. She has the whole island of Amazon Lily that they know how to fight in. They know how to fight in the jungles of Amazon Lily. So any Marine ship like that tried to land and come ashore, they're probably going to get devoured by just the plant life alone. Plus the fact Boa can turn them all into stone, you know? Wouldn't it be weird if the Marines had like anti-love fruit like glasses or something? Just like, all right, man, here's the deal. You're going to be fighting against the Pirate Empress Boa Hancock. Now here's the thing. She has the ability, just like Medusa, to turn you to stone if you have any lecherous thoughts about her. Now, here's the problem. She's also wicked hot, all right? So look, it doesn't matter who you are, you're probably going to feel lecherous thoughts for her, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put on these sunglasses that render you completely blind. Now, that might not seem like a good idea at first, but at least, hey, at least you'll be hacking away at something, right? You'll do better hacking away blindly than you would be just frozen in a stone statue, all right? All right, men, put on your glasses. Charge! They're fighting trees on the island. Ah, get back, Pirate Empress! You know, just like, Actually, you know what? That wouldn't even work because she has other abilities like the slave arrow that'll just turn you into stone anyway. So, you know, the love beam is sort of the wide range or whatever. Kobe is there. The best shot we could really hope for there is if Kobe and Boa end up meeting and end up just fanboying and fangirling over Luffy and just be like, wait a second, you know Luffy? You know Luffy? I'm gonna marry Luffy. Oh my god, I hung out with him a lot in the East Blue. He's an awesome guy. And then they just hang out and the Marines are like, what is this? Captain Kobe, what are you doing? It's like, it's okay, guys, it's okay. She's a fan of Luffy. Let's compare our Luffy figurine collection. I thought I was the only one that had that. And so, you know, Boa has like a whole shelf of like Luffy figures that she made herself, and then Kobe has the exact same thing on his ship. They would actually get along fairly well, right? So, yeah, that could be the case, but I'm pretty sure Boa did not get captured. You know, the only thing maybe you could say about Weevil is Weevil might have ended up getting captured because Weevil's just more simple-minded. So they might have been able to, like, trick him or something, or if they captured his mom and then he showed up on the ship and then they wrapped him in, like, a mile of sea prism stone chain, and it's like, Mama, I can't move! You know, it might be something like that, I don't know. But we know Buggy got away, that's the one thing. We know Buggy escaped, and it might be because of Buggy's escapades that resulted in this chaos that Aramaki is speaking of right now, okay? But that's not the major problem. I think the major origin of this chaos that Aramaki speaks of is actually the Revolutionary Army. And it's pretty easy to see why. So first and foremost, we had the situation at the Reverie where the whole point of Sabo and Morley and Lindbergh and Karasu going there to begin with was to basically declare war on the Tenryubito, to declare war on the world government, okay? And they still very well may have done that. We just didn't see them do it, right? We know that eventually they kind of broke the plan to go and try to rescue Kuma in the process, and that's when Sabo and the other commanders fought against Aramaki and Isho, okay, Fujitora and Green Bull, right? So they fought against them, and what we understand is Sabo, I think, is claimed to be dead, but he's probably not really dead, but the paper probably said he is dead. So that got the revolutionaries worried in and of himself about that. But then also you have the Yonko beginning to fall apart and the world going into chaos just from that. I think that the revolutionaries at that point, Dragon might have been like, okay, let's go like full in on this. You know what I mean? Like, you know, once again, high risk, high return. The world is in chaos. Sabo is somewhere in Marijois, maybe captured. If there was ever a time to launch a full-on offensive to activate the plan of the Revolutionary Army that they had in their back pocket, you know, this might be the time. This is the time for the revolution. Let's do this, okay? So Dragon mobilizes all of his forces all around the world, not just the ones on Kamabaka, but everywhere. You know, there's revolutionary armies like in all four blues and in the Grand Line. That's sort of the point. They've been fighting this war for the last few, you know, decades at least, okay? So it's been happening for a while. He's going to mobilize everybody. Everybody starts going and fighting, and they might be making the push to Marijois. Dragon might be on his way there right now as we speak, for all we know, right? Like, that could be the situation. And so now the Marines not only have to deal with the fallout of Big Mom and Kaido losing their position and pirates just being more riled up than usual, but also they have to deal with the revolutionaries making their plan. So that's probably why Aramaki's pretty pissed right now, and he wants to, like, really, he wants to make Sakazuki proud of him. You know, he wants to, like, give him a prize or something. He's like, man, I'm gonna walk right into Wano. I'm gonna, you know, take out all the freaking Straw Hats. I'm gonna grab Straw Hat Luffy. I'm gonna give him his head on a pike, you know, and then Sakazuki will love me or whatever. He'll ruffle my hair and give me the thumbs up of approval, right? What's the best way that Akainu, that Sakazuki could give his approval to someone? You know, I imagine he would just be like, he'd be like that really stern, like hard as a coffin nail dad, you know? And just like, Dad, I got an A on my test. And Sakazuki's like, whatever. Like, he just doesn't care. Like, it's so hard to please this man, okay? And so Aramaki comes back. He's got Luffy's head. He's like, all right, I single-handedly annihilated all of the Straw Hats, all of the Heart Pirates, and all of the Kid Pirates. And I have all of their captains' heads on sticks. Here you go. And then Sakazuki just like... he just gives this really crooked smile and just, like, takes out his cigar, and he's like, good job, Aramaki! The thumbs up of approval, and he very rarely does that, and Aramaki's like, oh, thank you! You know, just like, yeah, so maybe something like that. But, yeah, I think that's the major situation. I'm serious. Like, after we get out of Wano, after the Straw Hats leave and they start getting out into the world, it is going to be a damn war zone. It is going to be insane. No matter where they go next. You could say Elbaf, you could say Vera. By the way, a lot of people have said that Vera, that was mentioned in the Road to Laugh Tale little documentary. Sure, why? Well, it's a documentary. It's a One Piece documentary. But it mentioned Vera as one of the possible locations for the fourth road poneglyph. And it's like, why are they even mentioning Vera? We've never even seen Vera. And a lot of people were saying, what about that island we saw in the last chapter that had the giant image of Sabo on one of their buildings that had that flag that looked like a war-torn nation? And it was specifically mentioned by Oda in the SBSs that Vera was, in fact, a war-torn nation. It might be Vera. That might be Vera the whole time. And Oda was like, yeah. And people are also looking at it like if you reverse Vera, so V-I-R-A, if you reverse it to A-R-I-V, it sort of is like arrive. I mean, I can leave it to Oda for doing something like that. I would not be surprised. But yeah. So, wherever the Straw Hats go next, though, the point is it's going to be chaotic, okay? Even if it was like a relatively peaceful island beforehand, the shockwaves and after effects of what they did at Wano, of the collapse of the emperors and new emperors there, it's just like the world is in chaos. Pirates are going to be going crazy right now because every pirate is basically going to be thinking like, man, the emperors fell, so this is like the best time to be a pirate. Let's get out there. Let's try to find the One Piece, right? The emperors are falling like flies. And yeah, Luffy and Buggy do have reputations in the world, of course they do, but, you know, Kaido and Big Mom had those positions on the Emperors for decades, okay? You know, Shanks is a relative newcomer to this for the last 6 years. Blackbeard was only in the last year or so. So right now, we basically have, like, Shanks is the one that has the most seniority. Shanks with 6 years of being a Yonko compared to Big Mom, who was an Emperor for probably at least a few decades, you know what I mean? So the Pirates of the world are probably going to be thinking, man, maybe we can take out one of the Emperors. emperors if it's that easy. Maybe we can become a new emperor. Maybe we can find the One Piece. This might be the revitalization of the Great Pirate Era. This might be like the final stretch where there's more pirates than ever on the seas, and the ones that were already there got like a major confidence boost or something, right? They all might be vying for Luffy and Buggy and Shanks and Blackbeard's heads right now because they're all relatively new members of the Emperors, right? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on this, and we're also going to have to wait to see what's going to happen with Shanks. Like, what's his take going to be on this? Like, where's the first place Shanks is going to go? I want to say he's going to go confront Blackbeard. I want to say he has the whole plan with, like, okay, Luffy's now an emperor. I don't have to worry about him. And Buggy's now an emperor. I definitely don't need to worry about him. So now me, Shanks, can go directly up against Blackbeard with the full force of my crew and my allies without worrying about getting, sidelined by Big Mom or Kaido along the way. I can just go and fight Blackbeard one-on-one as fair as possible, right? So, and also with the Marines in Chaos, they won't be getting involved. So I'm thinking Shanks is going to do that next. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Let's just call it at that because I got a lot of other stuff to do today. I still got to pack a bit, and I'm still doing Isekai D&D today over on Rustage's Twitch, so check that out. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, Jellyfish Facts. So I actually filmed a video yesterday that'll be going up while I'm on vacation, and that one will actually be the very first episode of Jellyfish Facts, but that's not going to be until, like, July 10th. So, sorry, I said there's going to be a hiatus, but I do have an intro for Jellyfish Facts. I'll play the intro for it, but I don't have a Jellyfish Fact. I'll wait until that video goes live, but we'll end it out with the intro for Jellyfish Facts. Thank you, Evan, for the one that has made it. He was the same guy that made the, the things tech getting missed in the chapter intro. Same dude, and he did a great job. So I'll close it out with that. Next video that will be out will be on July 1st, and that will be Law Week, Episode 1. There'll be 7 of those, and then a few videos after that. But yeah, other than that, I'm going on vacation in Cali. So later, everyone. Hope to see you at Anime Expo.
Welcome to Jellyfish Facts. Jellyfish Facts.